Auspicious Disappearance Day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Srila Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Chaitanya Gopimananda. Oh, glorious to this humble devotees. Oh, glorious to this humble devotees. Oh, glorious to this humble devotees. Oh, glorious to the very sweet Shri Krishna Gopal.
Need of our spiritual master, which we attain pure devotional service. Bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. For his grace one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is perfection, fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic praying emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. Make scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor and Lord and Master devotees, O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us a shade of the lotus feet. Your fame is below the three worlds. We take shelter of the lotus feet. Join!
Can you finish by past 8?
Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parvajikacharya Ashtuta Shata Shishmas Divine Grace Bhakti Stata Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Antara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Thakur
Hare Baba.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 28, Kapila's Instructions on Devotional Service, Text 23. Janudvayam jalajat lochanaya jamnanya. Lakshmya kilasya suravati tataya vidhatu. Urvur nidhaya karapala varuchi sayat. Shalalitam ridi vibur abhavasya kuryat. Janudvayam jalajatluchanaya janananya. Lakshmya kilasya suravanditya vidatu. Urvur nidhaya karapala varuchi sayat. Shalalitam ridi vibur abhavasya kuryat. Janudvayam jalajat lochanaya jananya. Lakshmya kilasya suravaditaya vidhatu. Urvur nidhaya karapala varuchi sayat. Shalalitam ridi vibur abhavasya kuryat. Synonyms, please. Janudvayam, up to the knees. Jalaja lochanaya, lotus-eyed. Jananya, mother. Lakshmya, by Lakshmi. Akhilasya, of the entire universe. Suravaditaya, worshipped by the demigods. Vidatu, of Brahma. Urvo, at the thighs. Nidhaya, having placed. Kara Palavarochisa, with her lustrous fingers. Yat, which Samlalitam, massaged. Hridi, in the heart. Vibho, of the Lord. Abhavasya, transcendental to material existence. Kuryat, one should meditate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: the yogi should fix in his heart the activities of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods and is the mother of the Supreme Person, Brahma. She can always be found massaging the legs and thighs of the transcendental Lord, very carefully serving him in this way. Purport: Brahma is the appointed Lord of the universe. Because his father is Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is automatically his mother. Lakshmi Ji is worshipped by all demigods and by the inhabitants of other planets as well. Human beings are also eager to receive favor from the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi is always engaged in massaging the feet, the legs and thighs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana, who is lying on the ocean of Garbha within the universe. Brahma is described here as the son of the goddess of fortune, but actually he was not born of her womb. Brahma takes his birth from the abdomen of the Lord himself. A lotus flower grows from the abdomen of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and Brahma is born there. Therefore, Lakshmi Ji's massaging of the thighs of the Lord should not be taken as the behavior of an ordinary wife. The Lord is transcendental to the behavior of ordinary male and female. The word abhavasya is very significant, for it indicates that he could produce Brahma without the assistance of the goddess of fortune. Since transcendental behavior is different from the mundane behavior, it should not be taken that the Lord receives service from his wife, just as a demigod or a human being might receive service from his wife. It is advised here that the yogi always keep this picture in his heart. The devotee always thinks of this relationship between Lakshmi and Narayana. Therefore, he does not meditate on the mental plane as impersonalists and voidists do. Bhava means one who accepts a material body, and abhava means one who does not accept a material body, but descends in the original spiritual body. Lord Narayana is not born of anything material. Matter is generated from matter, but he is not born of matter. Brahma is born after the creation, but since the Lord existed before the creation, the Lord has no material body. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnanatimarandasya Jnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this instruction by Kapila Muni is elaborating on the Ashtanga Yoga system, which is specifically relevant for Satya Yuga, where people could live up to 100,000 years and they could meditate up to 50,000-60,000 years like Valmiki Muni. Not very practical in this day and age, as we can don't have the facility or the environment for it. But the general principle by which we should meditate on the form of the Lord is all good in every age, because the form of the Lord is not mundane, as we hear in this purport. Mamaivamso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Every living entity in this universe wants to be attracted to someone or something, because we're just parts of the complete whole. Without that beloved, attractable object by which we can focus our mind, our consciousness in, people can be very morose, they can be very lonely, which is definitely the scourge of Kali Yuga. Despite of all the communications technology, media, internet, people are feeling more lonely than ever. So everyone is looking for this ultimate attractable object. What can I be attracted to in this world? Without that, the heart feels empty. Srila Prabhupada explains in Nectar of Instruction that the yogi should not meditate on something that is void or impersonalistic. He says, actually, you cannot make an artificial vacuum in the mind because it is artificial. You have to fill the mind with some kind of substance. And in spite of many, many years of penance and austerity, as we hear in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Yenye Ravindaksha Vimuktimaninas, Vashti Bhavat Avisura Bhuriyo, Aruya Krishna Parampadam Tata, Nadita Yushmat Angraya, that these, O Lord, our Lord, these ascetics and sages that meditate with so much austerity, thinking that they've reached the topmost platform, but because they disregard your lotus feet, they have to fall down. So you cannot make an artificial vacuum in the mind. You cannot meditate on something void or impersonal, because what's there to be attracted when the object of our meditation is nothing? Or the object of our meditation is some impersonal, amorphous oneness or whatever. There's no attraction there. So therefore, there's so much detail in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vedas to give bona fide, detailed knowledge about the Lord's form, His qualities, and His pastimes for the yogi to meditate and become absorbed by. Otherwise, the mind just goes crazy. It needs something, some engagement, some kind of absorption. Also in the Nectar of Instruction it says that the flickering mind is two functions in its dissatisfaction: aviroda priti and yukta viroda krodha. Aviroda priti, unrestricted attachment, and yukta viroda krodha, subsequent reaction being that you're frustrated and angry from such restricted attachment, which Prabhupada qualifies as being attached to the impersonalism of the Mayavadis, or the fruitive results of the Karmavadis, or just any belief into fulfilling materialistic desires. The subsequent reaction is that you become frustrated and you have to become angry, krodha. Srila Prabhupada also explains in the Bhagavad Gita that the more that the mind is constantly meditating on sense gratification, the more we become dissatisfied. So you wonder why when you're walking on the street and you see so many people with long and miserable faces, it's because their mind is just constantly meditating how to engage the senses with the sense objects. So that is the dissatisfaction of the flickering mind. So what is the prime object for our meditation? It's described throughout this whole chapter. It is the Lord's form, His qualities, His pastimes. Govindadas sings in his famous bhajan, Bhajaure mana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. He says, Abhaya Charan. Abhaya means fearless, and Charana means the feet. And the feet of Sri Nanda Nandana, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is fearless, and he's suggesting to his mind, Bajahure mana, my dear mind, just become attached to the lotus feet of the son of Nanda Maharaj, the son of Vasudeva, because these feet of the Lord are fearless. It's like sometimes we have to do the banking in the ashram, or when you're in traveling Sankirtan, you're a little bit fearful because you've accumulated so much money in that one place. And Bhakti Sar will go and do the bank, you'll put the money in the bank, and then there's no more fear. It's like that. We have to somehow seek out the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and become fearless. Dulava manava janama satsange tarave bhava sindure. Dulava manava janama. This human form of life is so rare. But somehow or other, satsange, we've got the association of the devotees. Tarave bhava sindure. And in that association, we can easily cross the ocean of bhava, the ocean of becoming and unbecoming, this ocean of material existence. So here in Govinda Das gives us a very helpful hint. In the association of devotees, we have to fix our mind in the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And many, many prayers actually in the Bhagavatam. King Kulashekha, or his Kshatriya, very practical advice. Krishna tadiya padapanka japanjarantama javame vishatumanasaraja hangsa prana prane kapabata pita kantavarodanavados maranam kataste. Oh my Lord, I pray that the swan of my mind may immediately sink down to the nectar of your lotus feet and be locked up in that network. For at the time of my final breath, when I'm choking with cough and mucus, how is it possible for me to think of your holy name? And then there's Queen Kunti in the first canto of the Bhagavatam. Toyi me nanya vishaya matir madupate shakrit ratim udavadada gange bhogamudanvati. My Lord, just as the Ganga flows forever towards the sea, may my mati, my concentration, my mind just overflow. My attraction just overflow like the Ganges flow towards the sea. So all the great personalities we can cite. The object of our meditation is Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna's lotus feet. What does that mean? Sometimes when you read Srila Prabhupada's books, especially when you read it for the first time, there's this constant repetition about the lotus feet of certain personalities. In Vedic culture, the feet is the lowest part of the body. And the fact that we can meditate on the feet of such a personality means that this person is very significant. It's not an ordinary person. It's like an expression of our submission and an expression of our humility. To meditate on the feet of an individual, you wouldn't normally meditate on someone's feet in the material world. Anyone done that here? Oh, your feet are so gorgeous. You're so lotus-like, But the fact that the feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the object of meditation for people like Kunti Devi and King Kulakshetra means that this is not an ordinary meditation. It means that this feat is so significant, it gives fearlessness to those who are suffering in this material world in the ocean of becoming and unbecoming, which is completely inflicted with fear. You see this everywhere as you walk around in Auckland. People are fearful of their material situation. Oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? But somehow or other, if we just meditate on the feet of the Supreme Personality of God, who, by the way, the Bhagavatam explains is like a thunderbolt that crashes into the mountain, smashes all the sins which has accumulated the mind for many, many millions of births. Hare Krishna. What was I talking about? The lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, to meditate on the feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is like it's an expression of humility, an expression of our submission. And how do we express our submission and humility? It's a service. When we say the lotus feet of the spiritual master, the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God, it means that we want to meditate on the service of the spiritual master, the service of the Supreme Personality of God, because how we express our love and devotion is through service. So it's hinted in this verse. We should meditate on Lakshmi Narayan. The purport talks about how Lakshmi is serving Narayan very nicely. And this is a very wonderful meditation, to actually meditate on service, how we can serve the Lord. Shavanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Ashnam Bhananam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. We can think of how to arrange our life and how to hear and chant and glorify, serve, worship, offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of God. And in this way, the mind is fully enlivened. Bhakti means service. Devotee means service. And the more service that the devotee has acquired, the more wealth the devotee has. It's not that wealth is based on what you're wearing or your bank account or what job you have or how big your car is or how big your house is. No, it's about service. How much service we have under our belt. Love, the ocean of love of God is the ocean of love, ocean of service, unlimited, drowning in the service opportunities. Sometimes it's explained as Holiness Devamrita Swami. So we want to meditate on how to serve Krishna. This is a wonderful object for the mind's meditation. And in the beginning of Krishna consciousness, sometimes we're thinking, we're just meditating on our service. Just me, my service, my book distribution, or my catering, my cooking, or my management. It's just me. But as we actually begin to progress in Krishna consciousness, we also should meditate on the service of other devotees and appreciate the service of all the other devotees. This is a very therapeutic remedy for envy and pride and selfishness. Because in the spiritual world, every living entity, every jiva has a unique service to Krishna that no other jiva can function. So there's actually no need for envy in the spiritual world, because we've got something that we can offer to Krishna that nobody else can, and we can offer to Krishna unlimitedly, eternally, and Krishna can reciprocate with us unlimitedly, eternally. So where's the need for envy and fear and insecurity? Sometimes we see a devotee, they're doing such wonderful service. What about me? Am I going to get some attention? Am I going to get some appreciation? In the material world, someone is honored, that means someone else is dishonored. Someone gets good fortune, that means someone else gets bad fortune. Someone is happy, that means it's at the cost of someone's distress. But in the spiritual world, there's ample opportunity to serve Krishna unlimitedly and eternally. And there's a function that we can serve Krishna in such a way that no other jiva can, in this universe. So the devotee is feeling secure, and he's appreciating, how wonderful this devotee is doing in this area of service. And this is very therapeutic, for the mind. Because the mind generally likes to latch on just about, what about how I feel, and, what about my situation, what about my circumstance, me. This idea of just completely being self-absorbed. It's the me generation, as they call it in this day and age. But in the beginning it's good. We can meditate on our own service, but as we progress in Krishna consciousness, we also meditate in the service of other devotees. That's what Narada Muni had actually figured out. In the beginning of Brihad Bhagavatamrita, he went to every part of the universe, glorifying the service of all the different devotees. He was getting more ecstatic. So this is how devotees interact. Prabhu, what wonderful service you've done. Book distribution you've done today, or what wonderful kirtan you've led, or what wonderful management you've done. And better than appreciating is actually serving the devotees. So the first thing is you meditate on your own service, then you appreciate the service of others, and then you serve the devotees. You actually make their life a little bit, you help them out. This is the best way to appreciate the devotees, is to actually serve them. This is our constitutional position. I'm not a Brahmana, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya, I'm not a Shudra, I'm neither a Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, or a sannyasi. Simply, I'm a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of the eternally self-manifesting ocean of nectar of the highest bliss, the master of the gopis, Shri Krishna, Haribol. This is Lord Chaitanya's very concise and eloquent way of saying, I'm not the body. You see, whereas we're not in the process of negation here, like the Buddhists or the impersonalist Mayavadis, you can't do this, you can't do that. But Lord Chaitanya is very practical. Yeah, I'm a servant of a servant of a servant of Krishna. You're not the body, in a very eloquent way. So you see the devotees, you appreciate the devotees, you serve the devotees. This is such wonderful therapy for the mind, lashed with so many, the 6 whips of anger, envy, madness, illusion. This is the perfection of our meditation. Like last night, I was just freaking out because, I get a Manjaranya saying, look, you've got to give the talk tonight at the loft, so-and-so Mataji can't do it. And I haven't even thought what I'm going to talk about, beginning to talk about. And then Amani Gaur Hari saying, it's Bhaktivinoda's appearance day tomorrow morning, and no one told me it was Bhaktivinoda's appearance day, and then I had to talk to Rasa Yatra because there was some drama in some hospital in Hamilton, and so many things going on, and I was completely bewildered. It was very hard for me to concentrate and actually try and read this verse to prepare for this morning's class. And one very nice devotee came into my room and said, Prabhu, can I pack your book box? Can I get your books for tomorrow morning? Can I do something? And I was thinking, well, I really don't want you to serve me in that way, but I could see that my mind was just attached to this idea that, I'm going to do everything myself. I'm the supreme controller or something, some managemental tendency. But then I realized, actually, I've got to be humble a little bit, and actually I recognize that I can't actually do everything. The roster's half full and the half not even filled out. So I've got to find time to fill out the roster. And I realized, I can't do everything. And I've actually got to get some help. And it was really nice, actually. It was a revelation for me. Even just a small thing, just packing my book box. It was actually really, really grateful for that. And that devotee even put my book box in the van this morning. And not that we want devotees to serve us. We're trying to put ourselves in a situation that devotees should serve us. But it was nice. I felt like a lot of appreciation for this devotee. And wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone was just doing that to each other all the time? How I can actually help this devotee and just make his life a little bit easier instead of thinking, how to criticize this person or how to find faults in this person or put myself up on an artificial platform of importance, But actually just to serve and help other devotees, with their service, because we don't really know what devotees are engaged in, especially you see someone they're not on the roster, he must be in Maya. You don't know what devotees are engaged in. You don't know what's behind all the scenes and activities, what it takes to run an ashram, or to speak of run a temple, or to speak of run a society, or to speak of those spiritual masters that take on with so much responsibility. What are they're giving up so much. So, perfect function for the mind. Meditate on Krishna's lotus feet means meditating on Krishna's service. In the beginning, that's good. My service. At least you're meditating on service. But better than that, appreciate the service of other devotees. Oh, look how wonderful the so-and-so dasi or the so-and-so Prabhu is cooking for Radha and Krishna. I can't do that. We can't do everything. In the spiritual world, there's a specific function that every single jiva has that you can't do. They have a specific uniqueness to them, their individuality to them that no one else can imitate, that they give pleasure to Krishna in that way in the spiritual world. So we can appreciate that, the diversity, the dynamics of the different personalities that are offering their service to Krishna. And then better than that is then you make their life a little easier. Prabhu, gotta pack your book box. Make their life a little bit easier, Give the guy a break, give the Mataji a break, help them out a little bit, carry the tray or something. And this way, actually, Krishna consciousness becomes very ecstatic. Because this is our constitutional position. It's not to be the controller or the enjoyer, it's to be the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna's servants. Because you're functioning in that eternal position, your natural position. Naturally, you become happy. Naturally, your mind becomes satisfied. Naturally, you become joyful. So until we understand these things, the mind generally gravitates to so many ridiculous things, karma-vadi, maya-vadi tendencies, whatever. And Krishna says, Klesho dikatara stesham avyakta shakta chedasam avyakta hi gatir dutam dehavad biravapyate. He says, those who are embodied, dehavad biravapyate. If your mind is attached to the avyakta, the unmanifest, impersonal oneness or whatever, klesha dikatara stesham avyakta shakta chedasam, it's very difficult to make progress in this human form of life. Very difficult. Because there's no attachment. How can your mind be attached to a nothing? How can your mind be attached to an amorphous blob in the sky? You don't even do that in material life. You want to find who is Krishna, what is Krishna, what is Krishna's form, his qualities, his pastimes. And you let your mind rest on that, beginning with chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality. Kale Clare Nama, Krishna Rupa Avatar. Krishna comes in this Kali Yuga as his holy name. Nama Rupa Guna Lila, our object of meditation, is Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we make that the pivot of our very existence. Just like in a wheel, the middle is the pivot. So all our activities revolve around this one central activity of chanting the holy name with utmost attention. And life begins. Real life begins. And sometimes it can take 10 years, 20 years for devotees to figure that out. It can, whatever, how long it takes. But it has to be tarohe bhava sindure. We have to be in the satsanga. We have to be in the association of devotees meditating in the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. And that will give us this opportunity to get this realization quicker. Because actually Prabhupada says, and this purport to Bhaja Hore Mana, that without the association of devotees, very difficult. Actually, so you can't even make any advancement. Very difficult at all. So within the association of devotees, we chant Hare Krishna. We fix our mind in the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. So we can meditate today specifically in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's service. Right? Last night I just watched a 10-minute clip on Bhaktivinoda Thakur on YouTube. That was when Amani told me it was his disappearance. I just thinking, wow, this person is just completely amazing. He was a grihasta. He slept like 3 or 4 hours a day. He chanted so many rounds. He wrote almost 100 books establishing the basis, the foundation of Krishna consciousness. He wrote so many bhajans. He had, I think, 13 kids, right? A wife, a house, duty as a court judge. And his whole life is just Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So we can appreciate today, specifically, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wonderful contribution to establishing and founding the books that we have and to distribute. We can certainly appreciate that, and moreover, we can serve Bhaktivinoda Thakur by reading the books that the previous acharyas have given us and profusely giving those books to others. That is the best kind of appreciation. Serving the desires of the individual. What does it mean to serve? Yes, we want to serve the desires. Make your desires one with the Supreme Personality. Make your desires one with the spiritual master and the previous acharyas, and you serve that, and you make your life perfect. So thank you very much. Kind attention. Maybe a quick question or not? Any question or maybe comment from the senior devotees? Sorry, I had to speak quite fast because you told me I only had 30 minutes and I had to cram it all in 25 minutes. I think I missed a few points, but anyway. No questions? Alright. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Thakur, pray.
Hriman Krsna Prabhu ki.